This would have gone a lot faster if I still had Valor Form, too. It's kind of a thing that you would only really do and if you're really trying to push the time down. Because you do lose a lot more time from failing it than you'd gain from getting it. But I just wanted to go for it in the marathon because of how cool it looks if you get it.
So you changed Beast's AI?
To Sora attack. That's pretty much just to prevent him from messing up Darkthorn's AI, one of the next bosses. Because if he damages him when I don't want him to, then that might make him do his desperation move early.
The Sora attack is basically he doesn't attack, he just lets you do it?
Pretty much, yeah. So the strat I'm using for the first phase of this boss is actually one I kind of came up with myself, but when I was working on the game 3 years ago, and proud to say it caught on. There's an alternate strat that some runners use that involves Chicken Little, but it's more difficult, and I don't think it's significantly faster. But there's a lot of people that want to optimize this down to the second. I pretty much skipped like 2 extra phases of the battle that way by keeping him from going into the pillars in the room and then back into the windows. Now for round 2, aka Dark Ifrit.
Dark Invisible.
These little trolly shadow spawns. The reason why I do want Beast with me instead of Donald is so I can do this. Alright. Got him before he started jumping around.
So you did a single character Trinity limit?
Yep. There's a lot of battles where Sora's solo Trinity, as we call it, is well, sometimes you don't have a choice because you can't have both Donald and Goofy with you, and other times it's just more efficient than group Trinity.
And then it uses up all your magic, right?
Yeah, but there's no, as long as you have at least 1 MP, you can use limits, because limits just basically use all of your remaining MP. So sometimes I kind of micromanage it by using a bunch of spells until I have 1 MP left, and then I use a limit from there. One of the things that confused me a lot when I was kind of exploring the menu the first time I played this was that there's an option to turn off the automatic MP recoveries. Like, why would you ever want to do that?
Such happy music here.
It's the Mickey Mouse theme.
While we have a moment, we have some more donations here. One just for you here, Puexel. It's Bizkit.
Hey, Bizkit, thank you.
Good luck on the run, Puexel. All of us on the TeamSpeak are enjoying the run so far. We have a $50 donation from Aquaria. Hi guys from France. Today's payday, so donate day.
Before you go on to, just wanted to give BizKit47, guy that just donated, a big shout out for helping me a lot with preparing for this run too. He's one of the top, I think he's got the second fastest time on this category right now. And he runs like a lot of other Kingdom Hearts games too.
So he's quite prolific, actually.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of series. From Aquaria, the $50. I really enjoyed this edition of Christmas to Life so far. You guys rock. Also glad to see a live speedrun of my favorite series, Kingdom Hearts. Keep going. Keep doing the good job. Love you all. We have a $35 donation from Bobby. Hey, Poexel, good luck with the Kingdom Hearts 2 run. I'm watching C4L as much as I can, even at work. Hopefully we don't get you in trouble there, sorry. Looking forward to the rest of this run and all up and coming. 35 going to naming Setzer Kobe, as he was always my favorite character from the favorite game. Need to actually get the speed running it. Yes, you do.
So for both of these mini escort missions, I'm using a visual cue, basically where I tilt the camera up and then wait until right as Minnie disappears off camera to call her. Because if I call her too early, she bumps into Sora's back and stops moving.
Let's go. This way. Let's go.
So as long as she doesn't bump into him, she keeps running.
Yeah, although she kind of gets distracted by Heartless sometimes. So it's not possible, as far as I know, to have her get all the way to the end in one pattern.
This way. Let's go. This way. Let's go.
Unless you go through and kill all the Heartless, which
That takes a long time.
Yeah. Oops.
I imagine it does.
Let's go.
And for some inexplicable reason, after this, we get a new accessory slot. So we suddenly, hey, I've got more than one finger, so I can wear two. I can both wear a medal and a ring. So I'm putting on that Sardonyx ring I got back in Beast Castle, which gives me an extra point of strength and AP. AP affects how many abilities I can have equipped at once.
Oh no! Surrounded by thorns. This is probably one of my favorite worlds.
Yeah, I like this one too, because there's so many nice little subtle touches, like the fact that the sound is mono instead of stereo, just gonna make this sound more like an old black and white cartoon.
It changes in all the forms.
Yeah, you're all look like you're drawn with like lots of sharp angles.
What's that for?
Get back here.
Get a horse.
Get a horse.
Yeah. It's the short that ran before the movie Frozen in theaters. It's called Get a Horse and it has Pete in it. If you've seen it, it's pretty cool.
I know I've seen it. I'm not remembering it.
You don't remember? It's the one where they come out of the movie screen. Okay.
Kind of remembering it now.
I'll have to show you at home. We have it.
I know that. I've only seen it once. That was a while ago. Mayhem.
Mayhem meter.
Yeah.
always thought it was fun to make the tower shoot out.
Yeah,
cannon
yeah, you
shots.
can use a reaction command on the tower to kind of stun enemies, but it doesn't really do much damage, so sadly not worth using in the speed run.
Oh, that's too bad.
And these cars are very annoying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice if you can just kill them. with one attack.
Yeah, it didn't actually matter that I hit the fire instead of the car with that with Sora as part of Trinity too, just because it still adds hits to the total. And if I get enough hits, then the finisher will kill both cars, which is good because, like Essentia just said, if you fight the cars kind of fair and square, they just like to dash all around the room while invincible, and it costs so much time.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this. Defeat all the Heartless while defending the furniture.
Oh, not the furniture!
Yeah.
The chair! Save the chair!
Oh, I know I missed. Or did I? Yeah, for that one, I try to get actually as few hits as possible, just because the finisher is going to kill them no matter what, and the more hits I get, the longer the animation takes.
So you decide to attack the camera instead of that.
Yep.
These Heartless are just such hardheads.
You can see how each battle has been optimized for Trinity Limit. Yeah. So which parts of it you use.
I have to wonder, is it painful to go into the different forms? See, I was like, yeah.
It's painful for enemies nearby, just because that explosion damages them.
Okay.
You must could
Well, if Sora's exploding though.
Yeah.
Can't be too pleasant.
I'll show you. Later,
Okay, I already got a synthesis item in Beast Castles, so I'm skipping one here.
Yeah, he wants to get at least one synthesis item, because when you give one to the Moogle, then you get, what is it, an elixir?
Elixir, yeah. What? Ah, I was in the
Oh, no.
middle of an attack.
Yeah, like you were saying, if he hadn't picked up a synthesis item already, there's one here in the chest. And you don't lose any time getting it, so you have to wait for the boat to move anyway.
Yeah, the cycle for that hook trying to throw you off is random, and I was trying to stay on top of it by just kind of poking at it after doing 2 full combos, so it still came at a really bad time, and I didn't hit it in time.
The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Yes. Shoutouts to anybody old enough to know what we're talking about.
what's that for?
I get both of them?
Yep. Both past Pete and the fires count for hits on the Trinity too. I always get kind of thrown off by Pete being in front of the camera there for hitting his bowling ball back at him.
So the furniture's all gone.
Yeah, we failed to protect the furniture.
You're doing a great job, Pete. Let me tell you.
Would have been a tad more efficient to slide dash into him, so I would have only had to do 2 reaction commands. But in practice, I had some trouble with him knocking me away when he jumps because of being too close. So I just went for 3 air slashes for safety.
That's one definite thing to note. A marathon run is different than a personal best run, typically.
Definite, especially in an RPG too.
While we have a moment, we have another donation. This is from Fiogia. Sorry you didn't get the 1 cycle, but I can't not donate to such a good cause. Keep up the great work, and good luck on the rest of the run. Donation
you.
still to Runner's Choice.
His runner's choice was Phantom Train.
Oh,
Suplex.
Yeah, Phantom Train suplex.
Phantom Train?
Sorry, I'm coming in late.
Full speed ahead!
So is this the one you're going to try to
Yeah,
get
this is
0?
the one where I have the best chances of getting a 0 score.
Come on, 0.
Still not easy, actually, but it's the least not easy of.
At least it's not easy. At least the green caterpillar blowing some up doesn't count. I still miss my Doom Donuts. Never realized these guys actually blew up some of their own Heartless.
Well, they are heartless after all. It's just kind of hard. Yeah, always have a hard time telling just because the colors are so different. Because every nobody you fight is white, but there's like red and pink nobodies, and yep, looking like that's definitely a heartless. There were nobodies earlier too. This is one of the harder parts to not get hit in.
2 hits.
You're not the worst, Alexa.
I'm the 3rd worst now. This is actually kind of hard to not get hit by too. You have to be barrel rolling when you go past the wave.
while we're bouncing
New
here and there
record
and everywhere, we have another $10 donation from Mr. Zwanzig. Thank you for another great marathon. I've never properly watched a KH2 run before, so this is a fine moment. Props to Puexel and everyone there for your great runs. And
Thank
you get
you.
double love here because he donated towards killing Sid.
Ooh. Leap of faith hype.
Speaking of Sid, who has to eat the Swedish fish while we're killing or saving Sid?
Who's gonna impersonate Sid?
I don't know. I'll have to work that out.
Slight mistake there. Forgot to do a summon before doing the screen transition.
So this is where we see how useful Chicken Little is.
Yeah, that was about 3 times as long as it should have been because of having to do the summon.
The Chicken Little is actually a magnet. He pulls enemies into him.
And paralyzes them, yeah.
It's especially useful in this world because those pirates, you can't hurt them if they're in the shadows. You need them in the light. So Chicken Little pulls them into the light. Makes it a lot easier.
He's a chicken magnet.
And pirates, you know, they have so much treasure on them. Magnet pulls them in. Apparently Heartless are made of metal too.
There's ones that are just shadow.
Yep. Makes that part
I
a
love
whole
that. I
lot
love
easier.
that flashy kill there. Do you want to explain what magic does to pirates too, and why it took off Thunder from Donald?
Yeah, the different spells do have different effects on the pirates here. Fire just catches them on fire and they run around. Blizzard is the most useful because it freezes them. And Thunder just kind of makes them walk around.
Yeah, it makes them just kind of stagger around.
Yeah, and so he doesn't want Donald casting that on them because Blizzard is more useful, so he unequipped Thunder from Donald.
Because if he uses Thunder on them, they could walk into the shadows and become invincible during the ship battle.
That would be highly annoying.
Yep.
This is Donald's Limit Break, Fantasia.
Comet, yeah.
Comet,
Fantasia is the
okay.
ability you equip for it.
Yeah, it's so weird that they have two different names.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
always
It's
confuses
kind of
me.
confusing that they all, yeah. But yeah, I'll be using this quite a bit because it's the animation's faster than Trinity, and I can actually skip directly to the finisher of Comet by just selecting Comet Rain from the menu. And there's quite a few battles where that does enough damage to serve my purposes.
Sorry. It's fun music to sing along.
He's a pirate.
Yep.
This battle is timed. It ends when the timer runs out.
Yep. Okay, there we go.
There. Come on, turn on your magnet. pirates. Like, what is happening?
Should get them a little away from the shadows. And get all the money too. Ah.
What do you need the money for?
Buying ethers at the end of the run.
Pretty spendy.
Yeah. But no, I mean, they're only like about, like, I think 120, 140 each, but I want to buy like 13, 14 of them.
You really don't get a lot of money throughout this run.
Right.
You should have worked more jobs.
So, for all of the, every time you change locations in the Port Royal world, you get into a battle on the ship. But for every one of them except for that first one, it's faster to actually just run away by going below decks and coming back out.
Yeah, then the second time you go there, there's no battle.
Yar, pirates.
So here I want to kind of bait the pirates to follow me up here just because there's no shadows on the top here.
Interesting sound there.
Come on, get up here, please. So I saved my Valor form for the last wave of pirates just to ensure that I can finish it before I run out.
Get an automatic refill.
Yep. This next mini game I like to call the Donkey Kong mini game. Oh, fun.
Barrel's on fire. Yeah, so you don't even have to kill the Heartless here. You just have to get rid of all the barrels.
I got disoriented.
Item slot.
That'll be useful for being able to hold more ethers at once.
So it's like, oh, I can hold more stuff.
My pockets suddenly got deeper.
Oh, it's just visited by the Ether Bunny. Yay!
Oh, I do like, because in the when they ported this game from Japan to North America, they actually censored this world a bit, where they gave the pirates crossbows instead of muskets, but they didn't change the sound effect that they make when they shoot, so it still does sound like a gun.
There's some noisy crossbows.
Yeah.
What's the point of that? Changing it. I don't know.
So this is a kid's game.
Old habits die hard.